Howdy guys, I thought it was about time I did some Sach. A good buddy of mine, Morgan Mysterion Shivers, asked for some Sach a while ago, so I thought today we'd be looking at Midnight by Satriani, just the intro, and we'll work through the other parts progressively through the weeks. Let's take a look. So let's go through all this a little bit slower. I want to be starting with essentially a power chord shape on the 7th fret of the 6th string, and then I'll be hitting 9 of the 5th with my ring. So I'm just hammering on those notes separately, from the pointer on 7 to 9 of the 5th with my ring. And then after that, I'm going to use my right hand. I'm going to use my middle finger to tap 12 of the 2nd string, and then use my pointer to hit 12 of the 4th. So we're just going to roll through that idea, and once you get that happening, it's just the same thing 4 times. So it's relatively simple. You've just got to get the roll and the flow right, and it'll sound pretty cool. So we're just going to do 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get the idea. So let's have a look at the second shape now. I want to be starting on 10 of the 5th with my pointer, and then hit 11 of the 4th string with my middle. And my tapping hand goes over to 14 of the 2nd string and then 14 of the 4th. And once again, we want to do a group of 4 here. So thus far from the top. Hopefully that makes sense. The third little chunk we're going to do is going to entirely borrow that power chord and the 12 taps again. So this is exactly the same. Now when I get to this shape again, this time it variates a little. So the first 2 formations of that were exactly the same. I was going 10 on the 5th, 11 of the 4th, and then the taps are going 12 of the 2nd, sorry, 14 of the 2nd and 14 of the 4th, so 2 of those. Then I bring this tapping hand down a string, and then I'm going to play the 1st string and the 3rd string with the tap, this time on 14, and we're going to do 2 of these. So it's a relatively simple idea, just bringing that tap down. So from the start. Then we go back to the starting shape again for a 3rd time. Once again, that was 7 of the 6th, 9 of the 5th, 12 of the 2nd, 12 of the 4th, 4 of those. And then we want to bring everyone down left and right hand. So now I'll be doing hammer-ons on my left hand, going 7 of the 5th, 9 of the 4th, and then my tapping hands doing 12 of the 1st and 12 of the 3rd. Okay, so from the start, this is what we should have thus far, a little slower. Then we go into this. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing on my left hand 9 of the 5th and then 9 of the 3rd. And then I play 12 of the 2nd and 12 of the 4th. A group of 4, and then I bring the tap back, so I'm still going 9, 11 on my left, 9 and 9 on my left hand on the 5th and the 3rd string, but now my tap comes back to 11 on my right hand. Now I do 3 of that formation this time, and on the 4th group I'm still sustaining that tap, and then I just want to hit my left hand on that 9th fret note. So a little bit slower, that's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Just hold that pointer for that last group. So we've got the whole first half of this intro now. Okay, the second half of the intro is nearly identical. It's just got a slight variation on the second group. So the first bit's the same. And then when we come back to this little half's the same. At this point, this is where it changes up a little. We jump straight to the 10-11 like we had before on the second group of the first half. So I'm playing 10 of the 5th, 11 of the 4th, but this time I'll be tapping 14 of the 1st string and 14 of the 3rd straight away. I do that group twice, and then I want to bring my tap back to 12 and hit 12 of the 1st and 12 of the 3rd. So I go. From that point on, the 3rd and the 4th section are exactly the same as what we had in the first bit. So I'll play it all for you one more time a little bit slow, but you'll see it's basically the same thing twice, just with a slight variation on the second group. Second group. And again. Slight variation. And just finish it off. That's the intro to Midnight. We'll look at the tapping chord section stuff very, very soon. Catch you guys soon.